What's going on, everyone? So, the Lakers haven't made any type of trades, haven't made any type of moves, free agent signings, anything, and we're already falling apart, right? Like, we got the news about Jared Vanderbilt. Now, Jared Vanderbilt, we'll see if he's ready to go for the start of the season. All we know is he's not expected for training camp, and he's not expected for preseason. Now, that doesn't mean regular season. We'll see for regular season. Hopefully he is ready to go. That would be great because now we have news that Christian Wood is out, right? We got news yesterday that Christian Wood is undergoing surgery on his knee. He's expected to be out 8 weeks and then he's going to be reevaluated. Now, that's just when he gets reevaluated. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be back the first month to see. He could miss, several months. We don't know. We'll see, right? Same thing with Jared Vanderbilt. My concern with Jared Vanderbilt, though, is he opted to not go the surgery route. And because he decided not to go the surgery route, he's having constant, foot issues. And we don't even know exactly what it is. There's not really any clarification, at least from what I've been able to find, as to exactly what the issue is, right? So, again, it just raises a lot of questions. And is this something that Jared Vanderbilt consistently deals with all season? Right? If he starts the season, but a week in, he's hurt again, and now he's out, that doesn't do the Lakers any favors. That doesn't do the Lakers any solid. And again, it further puts that spotlight on the Lakers' lack of trades. Now, look, before I dive into this, I do want to clarify, I don't want the Lakers to do a trade just to do a trade. I don't think that, now you go trade 2 firsts for Jeremy Grant. But if you had done a trade or you had worked something out, you'd be a little more comfortable, right? Now you're putting a lot of pressure on guys like Dalton Connect. Now you're kind of relying on Cam Reddish again, which, defensively he was great, but we saw the struggles when he got too many minutes. And we saw the way that the Lakers looked when he got too many minutes. There's just a lot of the issues you had last year due to injuries are all starting to present itself again this year. And it's I believe in the Lakers. I think that the Lakers, I wouldn't bet on them to win a championship, but I also wouldn't be surprised. Get another year of coaching or another year of chemistry, get better coaching, right? And then on top of that, the idea was better health. So far, the 2 out of the 3 are looking good, but that better health is that where if the Lakers were to even just go get a Jeremy Grant, for example, right? Now you're looking at it as okay, Jared Vanderbilt's out. That sucks, but you're fine, right? Because he's not going to start. You have, Jeremy Grant who's starting at the 3, and he's going to play X amount of minutes. So Jared Vanderbilt kind of take his time coming back, right? Also with the Christian Wood news. Right? Yes, it doesn't solve the center position, but how much is Christian Wood playing center for the Lakers is a question. But also, Christian Wood would have been great slotted in as the backup to LeBron at the 4. Well, right now, it's yeah, we could probably solve the 3. Yes, by committee, we could solve the 4, right? You could slide Rui over. You could go with Jackson Hayes and Anthony Davis at times. I don't think the Lakers are and serious, I don't think it's season's over, pack it in. I don't think it's anything like that. I do think that the Lakers are fine. I do think that the Lakers should still remain patient via the trade market. If something develops that makes sense, if you can get Jeremy Grant for a first, go get Jeremy Grant for a first. But if it's still 2 firsts, then no, hold off, take your time. But to me, it's if you would have already gotten something like that, well, now it's okay, well, now you got Jeremy Grant. You play Jeremy Grant at the 3, and then when LeBron goes to the bench, just slide Grant over to the 4 and slot in, a Dalton Connect or whatever at the 3, and you're good, right? All is fine. Or if you would have gotten, say, a Wendell Carter Jr., right? Or even a Walker Kessler or something like that, right? It's okay, well, now Anthony Davis, right? LeBron can go to the bench. You can slide AD to the 4 and slot in Walker Kessler. And then, or, Wendell Carter Jr. or whatever. Or if it was, let's say, Wendell Carter Jr., he could also play the 4. So Anthony Davis now goes to the bench and he just slides over the 4. If you had that piece that could be more versatile and play multiple positions, where Walker Kessler maybe not so much because Walker Kessler's pretty much just a 5. But again, you could play AD at the 4 more, so you kind of solve that. And then even at times play LeBron at the 3. I know the whole idea is to kind of, keep as few wear and tear on his body as possible. But you also got to do what you got to do, right? Like, like as much as I want 100% as healthy as possible LeBron come the playoffs, you still have to win games to get to the playoffs. And the Lakers won 47 games last year and we're still a play-in team, right? The Western Conference is no joke. We don't have that margin for error that you usually have in previous years. And you have teams that are better this season, and the Spurs, who are going to be trying to make a name, and we'll see what kind of strides Wemby takes that could maybe squeeze into a play-in. You have the Memphis Grizzlies who are coming up, right? Yes, you have teams that got worse in the Denver Nuggets, but they're still going to be very good, right? Like their worst is going from top 2-3 seed to maybe a 4-5 seed at worst. And then the Clippers, same thing. I still think the Clippers, depending on Kawhi, right, are still going to be a very good basketball team. I think they're still going to be in the top 5 to 6 range. I think the Lakers can be in that 4 to 6 range. If the Lakers didn't have that blunder after the in-season tournament last year in which they lost 10 out of 13 games, the Lakers would have been a top 4 seed, right? Like they would have. And they were one of the best teams in the league for a stretch once they kind of got things right again. Like Lakers were good last year. It's just they had this one little pocket where they were terrible. Now, look, the Lakers had inconsistencies all season. That is definitely apparent. And it's not a coincidence once we got to Denver, all those inconsistencies kind of reared their ugly head even further, right? Like we saw it all season where it was just the beginning of the season, it was we're terrible in the first half, great in the second half. And then that flip-flopped where we were really good to start games, terrible to finish them. And then you got to the playoffs and you ran into Denver and it was oh, we're really good to start games. And then, oh no, we're terrible at finishing them, right? So it was just inconsistencies that never got properly addressed that became a problem. Now, thing is that, again, I've always maintained, the Lakers need a trade. If the Lakers really want to be a, locked, bona fide contender, top 3 to 5 team in the league, they need, more likely, multiple trades, right? It's always been Jeremy Grant or Cam Johnson or whomever, right? Wendell Carter Jr. right? If you just got a Jeremy Grant, the beauty of that, though, is it takes some of the pressure off, right? You get the first trade done, pressure is now off, and you can be patient even more than you would need be to kind of get through the season. And then if that other trade presents itself, it's okay, let's go, right? You kind of raise the ceiling a little bit, but you really know you need to do another trade. There's still one more trade you need to get done, but there's not this urgency. There's not this sense of we have to get a trade, right? It's okay, you got something. Now, obviously, it depends on how we play. If we're worse or something, it's yeah. But but now that the Lakers haven't done any trades, now that the Lakers haven't done anything that we're kind of just running with this team. It's okay, well, as long as we're healthy, we're fine, right? If we're healthy, we're good, right? Christian Wood, he's expected to have a big resurgence. On top of that, I mean, look, there was genuine excitement with Christian Wood when he signed with the Lakers. Why? Because he is a guy that is versatile and can play essentially 3 through 5 on some occasions, right? I wouldn't want to play him at the 3 heavily, but we saw in the in-season tournament, him playing the 3, defending Kevin Durant, and defending him just chef kiss. I mean, it was perfect, right? So again, that versatility, him being a 17-7, 17-8 guy, you could use that, right? Slot him at the 5, slot him at the 4, right? You could be a backup for LeBron and Anthony Davis. And he was utilized so improper. There we go, right? Darvin Ham used Christian Wood as if he was this 3-and-D wing rather than a big man that can stretch the floor, right? Rather than he dump the ball down to him along the basket and on occasion bring him out and he can knock down the 3, right? Or depending on the set and action you're running, you can bring him out to suck out the big defender, right? Things like that. But when he's just standing out on the perimeter all game and he's just waiting at the top of the key, I don't need to bring out we'll live with that, Right? If you want to let him take 7 threes a game or 5 threes a game or whatever this game, go ahead, let him take it. Right? He's only going to make 2, right? 2, maybe 3. Like, it's fine. We'll live with that rather than him down on the block and you're just dumping it down to him and he's going to work. Also, how many times last year did the Lakers offense just hit like a snag? I mean, it happened in the Denver series. You have Rui Hachimura, you have Christian Wood, who both are excellent that 15 in. Why aren't you putting them on the block? Put Christian Wood on that weak side block, dump the ball down to him, and let him go to work or make a play or run some action with him. Rui Hachimura, same thing. Why are you having Rui just stand in the corner waiting for the basketball when he's a guy that can absolutely easily just go get you a bucket? Put him on the block. It's one thing when you catch the ball and now you got to go make a play. It's another thing when you're already established in position and you're calling for the basketball and now you got the ball with that mismatch, with that advantage, and now you can go to work and you can do whatever you need to do. Big difference there, right? And that's the problem. So hopefully there's better utilization this year, which I do believe there will be because I just think J.J. Redick's going to be a better X's and O's coach than a Darvin Ham was. But the health and then obviously the trade front, right? It's like we already needed a trade. Now you have Jared Vanderbilt and you have Christian Wood and it's just like, what's next? And it's just, it further adds that spotlight to just the need and necessity for a trade. And it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating. But, we'll figure it out. Look, I don't think the loss of Christian Wood and Jared Vanderbilt, for now at least, right? We'll see how the season progresses. But I think to start the season, first 10 games or so, I think you're fine. I think you'll be good. I think you'll be okay. But it just puts a lot more pressure and stuff on other guys to be the best versions of themselves as possible and to have to slot into different positions and have to play different roles that they might not had to have played otherwise, right? Or guys having to play minutes that they may not had to have played otherwise. So I just think it's an interesting kind of spot for the Lakers to be in, but I don't think it's panic mode. I think if you're the Lakers, you're still remaining patient. But if you're Portland, right, I'm on the phone with the Lakers right now like, hey, guys. Yeah. Hey, man, sorry, I heard about Jared Vanderbilt. That sucks. Oh, and Christian Wood, too. Man, hey, you know who'd be great? Jeremy Grant. What do you think, right? But if you're the Lakers, you gotta continue to remain patient. You got to continue to just play things out. If you can get him at a price or any player, Cam Johnson, whomever, right? Walker Kessler, whomever. If you can get that at the price that makes sense, then you do it. Otherwise, continue to stay patient. But as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Are you somewhere kind of in between? Do you think that, we'll be fine? No, you got to get a trade done. Do you think that this, hey, still be patient, but it definitely shines a spotlight? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.